Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Money, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to Apply. All right, so today I have Saurabh Shah on the line, and he's co-founder over at InstaLend. Saurabh, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to meet you, Adam. Thank you for having me over.
All right, so excited to get into InstaLend, and we're going to talk all about online real estate lending today. And maybe just to get us kicked off, tell us a little bit more about your company.
Sure. So InstaLend is a tech-enabled online lender. Our mission is to empower individuals like yourself who want to invest in real estate, and we make that possible by financing you for your next flip or for your next buy and hold, anything to do with real estate investments, residential and commercial.
That's awesome. And I guess let's get a little bit more into just the overall landscape and what you're seeing right now. So a lot of changes over the last couple of years, obviously, with what's going on. And just for context, we're recording this in 2021. It seems to me like online real estate lending should be booming, and like people are gravitating to this. What are you seeing in the market overall?
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, just looking at the last Black Swan event, which was COVID, which happened last year, came out of nowhere. InstaLend, we're based out of New York, downtown New York City. And, coming back to office, which is not as frequent as what it was last year, it's become a ghost town. I mean, New York City is, I haven't seen New York City the way it is today. And the trends that we've noticed are people are migrating out of cities into the nearby suburban areas, and that has led to a spike in demand for housing. So housing inventory, which is today at a short fall, has led to a quick appreciation in prices, and real estate has become a very attractive investment asset class today, more so than ever, because there's real demand. So with that, we've seen more people wanting to invest in real estate, wanting to buy a house, fix it up, and then put it back on the market to either sell it or bring in tenants and hold on to it as turnkey rentals. So with COVID as well, we've seen investment activity pick up in real estate, and more investors coming to the forefront to either actively invest or passively invest in real estate. And like I said, our goal is to make sure that we meet your investment goals. So we're busy making loans to individuals like yourself, helping you achieve your real estate investment goals. And we do this for both short-term and long-term investment goals.
Let's talk a little bit more about your avatar or your target client. So like the type of borrowers that you're working with, is this only for experienced property owners? Do you work with people that are newer? I mean, give us a feel for who it typically makes sense to work with InstaLend.
Sure, that's a great question. Our goal is to democratize real estate investments, and it should be available for the masses. So it doesn't matter if this is your first time taking a dive into the real estate investment space or have you done this before. We like to lend to every individual whose passion is to invest in real estate, and we make that happen pretty seamlessly because we're asset-based. So we don't dive into your bank statements, your tax returns. All we need is your FICO score, a business entity like an LLC that you have set up to buy your real estate into, and that's where we make the loan. The entire process is no longer than 2 to 3 weeks. So we close really fast. The advantages of being a tech-enabled lender is that most of our processes are automated. So unlike your typical bank or a credit union for conventional mortgages, we don't have to wait for 90 days to make you a loan. We do that in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a big deal. What kind of properties are typically are you lending on? Is this for residential, commercial, office? I mean, give us a feel for that.
So we lend across the landscape. We've seen a lot of activity and a lot of demand in the residential space, especially in the last 12 months. Single family housing has seen a boom with more people looking to buy into that space. So typically we look at the single family 1 to 4 units as our bread and butter. The typical loans are structured as a fix and flip loan where we finance up to 90% of your purchase and 100% of your rehab budget. So you're looking to come only 10% down towards your purchase. We also lend to multifamily, which is anything over 4 units. And again, the metrics remain the same. And we've also lent across commercial, but that's more opportunistic.
No, that's awesome. Do you require an appraisal for the loans that you originate? Tell us a little bit more about that process overall.
Sure. So the only document we need to validate that there is value in the property you're buying as on today, to verify the scope of work, which is the work that you're going to put into the property, and what the after repair value of the property is going to hold up at, given the current market conditions and the current comms, is through an appraisal report. This is a report that's available within 7 to 10 days. We work with licensed appraisers through nationwide. And basis the document, we underwrite a loan. So yeah, an appraisal is the only report we need. We're a nationwide lender. We have a panel of licensed appraisers that work with us across our investment opportunities nationwide.
That's awesome. I love it, and it sounds like you're just filling a big need in the market. So you're fast, you're quick in terms of getting the loan done. They're not waiting 90 days, especially right now when properties, and depending on where you're at. I'm in SoCal, and I know places like Orange County and other places like that. The inventory has just been low. What you're talking about, demand, in certain markets, that's all over the place.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the trend with foreclosures, there's a moratorium on the foreclosures. So the supply chain for receiving more distressed real estate assets to make it a good investment opportunity is constrained, due to which we've seen more demand, a higher price escalation. And that's when you need a lender who can quick close on you, right?
Yeah.
And that's what really helps us stay apart, have a unique value proposition with our investors, and we take pride in that.
No, that's a big deal. So Saurabh, I'll tell you, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today and learning more about what you're doing over at InstaLend, and I wish you much more continued success. But that being said, if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about InstaLend, what's the best way for them to do that?
You can definitely visit us at our website, which is www.instalend.com. That's Insta as in Insta, INSTA, and Lend as in LEND, all one word. And feel free to reach out to me directly as well. I'm at 929-523-8947. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you, Saurabh, for coming on the show today and sharing more about your work over at InstaLend. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want you to come back and be a return listener or viewer if you're watching us on the YouTube channel. And Saurabh, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.